Remember, we belong to him now. Really? Him? Unfortunately. What is happening, Cybertronians? Hope to find you well on this Saturday. Well, Saturday at time of this recording. And today we are having a look at, of course, the Studio Series 86 Galvatron. Now, when I reviewed the Earthrise, or was it Kingdom, Galvatron, I said straight away that that mold will be used for the Studio Series. And sure enough, that's exactly what has happened. So we'll go right into it. First, have a quick look at its display base there, which actually is done quite well. So Astro Train, Dirge, if I remember correctly, and Ramjet. Now, I don't quite remember seeing them in this particular scene in the movie, but I have been known to be wrong from time to time. And the display base, it's fine. Like, the artwork on it, I really like. I think that does look pretty cool. But unfortunately, not cool enough for me to keep. It's gone straight into the bin after this review. However, this guy, oh. Now, I've already loved this mold. I think it is the definitive, and I mean definitive, Galvatron figure. Right now, so far anyway. Now, who knows what's going to happen in the future. But just to take a quick look at the figure here a bit close up. Just raise the camera up a bit there. Wobbly camera. But yeah, that is just Galvatron true and true. Down to the red abs. One improvement they did make over this mold is this, the cannon. It's no secret, I hate clear plastic. It is a waste of time, a waste of money, a waste of material, because sooner or later it is always going to degrade and fall apart on you no matter how much you use it or not. So to see an opaque cannon here, so very welcome. And there is also, as well as the cannon, there's also a few extra paint apps on this guy that just makes it look so much better. So you have his shoulder pylons here, dark grey with the light grey on top, as you can see there, which looks very nice. The treads are paint, or this tread section here has some paint on it now, so you can see the wheels in there. Nice black paint with slight hint of gloss in there all the way around. Now the wheels this time are a light grey plastic or unpainted, and these ones here, they're a waste of space. They're not even sticking out, and to be honest, I'm not going to try and get these wheels to come out further because there's no need for them to be there. But as MGO says, it is what it is. Now, one small issue with mine, I don't know how well you can see it on the camera here, but it's around this section here and in there. The back is just not tabbing in super flush. Like on one side is, you can actually see it, there is sticking out a good bit more than the original version of this mold did. Now that could be down to me. I will freely admit that could be down to me, but it's still not a game changer because firstly you're going to have them displayed like this, so you're hardly going to have them displayed lying face down on the ground or in any other weird angle where you would see this gap. So it is a small critique, but like I said, not a deal breaker at all. And the purple on him, like the purple has a nice, I know it's not coming across too well on the camera, but the purple does have a nice sheen to it that I think just, that overall just looks supremely well. Even down to his feet, they're a lot more cartoon accurate in their paint. The only thing with the feet that I wish they done was make his toes longer. But again, minor critiques. And if I'm not mistaken, I think they may have actually fixed the misassembled shoulders that the Kingdom Galvatron had. Because they are sitting that little bit higher, whereas the Kingdom one, I think it was more down, just down here, like ever so slightly from there to there. But still, it's a detail that is greatly appreciated. Now, articulation wise, it's the exact same articulation as the Kingdom Galvatron. So the head can do a full 360. It is on the ball joint. You can look up slightly, down a bit more, and you do get tilted side to side. His arms can do a full 360. They can go out that far. They can actually rise all the way up. Can bring him down. He has, for transformation, double bicep, or not bicep, what am I saying, double elbow bend, but he does still have his bicep rotation. Now, again, like with the Kingdom, if you get this part of the thread and tap it into that port back there, that will severely limit the bicep rotation, so I don't bother. Simple as. He does have waist rotation, and on mine is actually quite snug, but because of the way the backpack is made, you don't get full waist rotation with these hip panels moving out of the way. But even then, only goes so far before it just hits into the hinge that they're on and they can't turn any further. But would you need 360-degree waist rotation? Nobody, not even contortionists, can rotate their waist around that much. The cannon, now the cannon is unfortunately a little loose. I can thicken this peg up easily. I've never actually tried. What's it like in this? No. Okay, so in this bottom port, the cannon is a lot more secure, and so something to take note of there. But when you put it into this top port, the cannon is fairly loose, so something to be aware of there when you're posing this figure. Sorry to interrupt the review, Cybertronians. Just something to point out here on the cannon itself. I've only just realized this. The cannon around here, you can see this little piece that's sticking out, just that little bit, completely flush here. And on this hinge, or not hinge, sorry, port, there's a notch cut out that is actually on both sides. And the point of that notch is that when you have the cannon in place, that little piece that sticks out goes into that notch, which keeps the cannon aligned exactly how it's meant to be. Now, back to our regularly scheduled review. The hands are on a swivel, so you can get a full 360-degree, and because of its transformation, they can go in all the way. The waist rotation, we've done that. The legs can go forward only that far, but that's more than enough for what you'd need. They can go back that far again, this back panel getting in the way. And on my copy anyway, the outward joint feels a lot looser than the forwards and backwards. Now, it's holding a pose, so, and yeah, so it's not dropping down drastically, but it is looser to be more accurate. He does have a thigh rotation right here, and he has just under 90-degree bend at the knee. And for his feet articulation, they can't go up, they can't go down, but you do get ankle tiltage there, which if you want, you could disengage this bit here and get a lot more ankle tiltage, but it would just look awkward, it would look stupid, so there's no need. So yeah, the articulation on it is still really good as the Kingdom Galvatron. He is a commanding and imposing figure, he really is. Like, he looks the part. They definitely nailed Galvatron's look with this guy. So for a quick comparison, we already seen at the start of the video. So here he is with the Studio Series sweep. I would show off the Scourge, but I don't have him, unfortunately. Doesn't matter, they are the exact same molds, and just get that back a bit further there so you can get a proper sense of scale. And actually, sorry, just before I do, just want to say the coloration I think matches so well. Like, the sweeps were this color and Scourge was closer to Galvatron, or maybe it was closer to Cyclonus. And speaking of Cyclonus, here he is with the Kingdom Cyclonus, who for me is the definitive Cyclonus. And I'm telling you now, when they make a Studio Series of this guy, they're going to use this mold again. They really are, because it is a perfect mold for Cyclonus. Same way that was a perfect mold for Galvatron. Before we get into transformation, just to show off the accessories that you get with him. So again, just like with the Kingdom, you get his two blasters that are done in just plain grey and unpainted plastic, but still molded to look like his ship that Unicron gave him, the Revenge, I believe it was called. And of course, he has his bling, his matrix of leadership on the chain, the exact same matrix that we've gotten so many times ever since Earthrise Optimus Prime. So there's nothing new there with this. Even the chain is the exact same as what we got with the Kingdom Galvatron. So every single thing that you get with this is the exact same as what you got with Kingdom Galvatron. Now, because of transformation being the exact same, obviously it's the same mold, I'm not going to go in too much detail here. I'll just rush past that to get into his alt modes. But if you want to see what his transformation is like, I suggest looking up my review of the Kingdom Galvatron. As I said, the transformation is the exact same, so there's nothing really to write home about there. So without any further ado, let's transform him into his alternate mode. Now, actually, just very quickly, while we're at this point of the transformation, one thing to note, and it is something I'm going to have to try and fix. And this tab here, I struggled so much to get it pegged into that slot there. Just to show you quickly, it doesn't want to go in all the time. Like, these will go in, but because of this, they get pushed out, so I end up having to put a lot more force onto his legs, and I can see the plastic flexing, which I'm not a fan of, but minor critique again. Anyway, back to the transformation. Okay, that just happened. Thankfully, it's a clip hinge, so it just goes right back on. Something to watch out for. Okay, and there we have him, Galvatron in his canon mode. A couple of things about the transformation. The transformation on this mold, I don't know what it is. Maybe it could be mold degradation. It could be, maybe it's just my copy, but things aren't as fluid as they were on the Kingdom version of Galvatron. There are things that was fighting you, or fighting me to be precise, that just didn't line up, like this here. I don't know how well that's coming across in the camera, but you can see a gap there which isn't meant to be there. Let's just see if I can get that down. Now, see, I got that down when I was transforming it, but it just popped up. And then you have this part here which again doesn't like to stay flush. So yeah, there are definitely some small issues with it. Is it going to ruin my enjoyment of the figure? Not at all. I don't often transform my figures on a regular basis. I usually have them displayed in one mode or another for a few weeks to a couple of months and then transform them back. But still, do be careful when transforming it. As you've seen with the couple of instances that we had in the transformation, his crotch panel popping off, the legs not wanting to tab in properly. I had to use considerable force to push them together, and I did not like that at all, because if I keep doing that over time, I'm afraid something may eventually break. But articulation wise with this guy, it's a tank. If you want, you could bring these feet back and lower that down to give him that more leaning look that he had when he shot Starscream at his ceremony, or his coronation, I mean. Which that to myself doesn't look too bad at all. The wheels themselves, they do roll kind of freely. So you have the wheels here and the ones here. Again, don't know why they're there. Like, they're completely superfluous and pointless, but they're there. You can kind of roll-ish. Nothing to an amazing degree, but he rolls well enough. And just for comparison, here he is with the Kingdom Cyclonus, and those two, that just looks incredible together. So could you imagine this mold in the Studio Series colors looking exactly like he did in the film, and with that coloration, because Galvatron and Cyclonus were very close in their colorations. So again, I'm putting my money on this. Hasbro is going to re-release this mold for Cyclonus when it comes to time for his Studio Series figure. And here he is with Scourge. I know it's a sweep, but it's the exact same mold, so I'm calling him Scourge, in his Space Burrito mode. Some people call it canoe. Some people call it a slipper or shoe. I'm calling it a Space Burrito. It's my toy. I can call it whatever I like. And just to show off before we go, his accessories. So like with the Kingdom Galvatron, you get his matrix. It just goes over the cannon like so. And you do have a little port right there that the matrix will tap into and holds on nice and securely. Why you would want to do that though, I don't know. Your figure, display however you like. Yes, the Amgo, I'm rubbing your lines. And then for his two ships, his Revenge, you can just tap them on to the sides. Oop, let me do this quickly off camera. And there you go. Me personally, I don't like it. Don't like how that looks. Just doesn't work for me. If Galvatron looked like that in the cartoon, then sure, I'd be all for it, but it is what it is. So there you go. That's been my look at the Studio Series 86 Galvatron. And Yeah, like I said, I love that figure. I absolutely love it. It looks amazing. The paint is on point. He just looks imposing and threatening and commanding, everything that Galvatron should be. There are some nitpicks in it, I won't lie, but those nitpicks are not going to take away my enjoyment of this figure whatsoever. I'm still going to keep him displayed proudly on my shelf, front and center. And unless the Studio Series 86 Megatron blows every other Studio Series out of water, Galvatron is going to remain prominent. Even take over the throne that came with Starscream. But anyway, like I said, that's been my look at the Studio Series 86 Galvatron. Now, one last thing. If you already own the Kingdom Galvatron or any other version of Galvatron that's come out with this mold over the years, should you get this? The short and long of it is, if you want to have a complete actual 86 lineup, yes, get 100%. If you don't want to have a Studio Series figure that has all the battle damage all over him, want a clean Galvatron that is show or cartoon accurate to the 86 film, yes, get this figure. If you don't care, if you're happy with the Galvatron that you have, even if it is the Titans Return Galvatron, then if you're happy enough with it, then you're happy enough with it. There's no need to get another one. Why you'll be happy enough with the Titans Return Galvatron, I don't know, but you do you. But for me personally, I knew the second that he was announced, I will be getting him. And actually, that's why I didn't use my Titans Return, or not Titans Return, I have that in my head now, my Kingdom Galvatron as a comparison, because I traded that Galvatron in to get this Galvatron. And for me, it was a good bargain. So if you want to have a complete 86 lineup, yes, get this figure. If you're happy enough with the Galvatron you have, then hey, you saved yourself about €65. But anyway, that's been my look for the third time at the 86 Studio Series Galvatron. And remember, being a nerd is the right of all sentient beings. Peace.